Well, we're going to resurrect the nepotism discourse once again. If it's not already beating a dead horse, we're just gonna bring it back because Nepo baby directors are making some of the worst movies going to theaters right now. Variety just published a huge report on several examples. First of all, Red One, which I know you are going to simp for. I already know.
I will argue this point that Red One was, okay, it wasn't amazing, but it was in the modern day Hollywood landscape. It's about as good of a Christmas movie as you're going to get, as far as a movie that doesn't take the concept of Christmas and turn it into like what Violent Night did or something like that, which makes it not really about Christmas, but more about the fact that a bunch of people are dying on Christmas. I had a lot of fun with Red One.
So Santa got taken hostage.
Santa got taken hostage, and then his head of security has to go and rescue him.
He's a polar bear, right?
No, it's The Rock.
It's The Rock, and he's teamed up with the polar bear.
With Chris Evans.
And Chris Evans.
The polar bear is only
to save Santa.
This sounds amazing.
It's amazing. It's on Amazon Prime. Everyone should watch it. But it was great, and I have a review coming out for that on Christmas Day. It actually does have more to it than that. I really do think that there's deeper themes of, restoring faith in humanity for a person. I'm serious. And also redemption for another character. So you just have to look for that on the outside.
We have a 20 from DJ Ango. Merry Christmas, PCC crew. Currently sitting at work, pretending I'm working. Can't believe that they have the audacity to give me work this close to Christmas. Here's to my favorite brain rot. Let's go.
Thank you.
Let's go. Glad you're watching.
And Red One did really, really well. It did horrible in theaters, did really, really well on Prime. Take that with a grain of salt. Who knows whether you can trust those numbers.
Red One was directed by Jake Kasdan, who is the son of 4-time Oscar nominee Lawrence Kasdan.
Yep. He did Body Heat.
Check the Rotten Tomatoes. They got 30% from critics and 90% from the audience, which means that it's slop.
No, that means that it's awesome. That means
you can like slop, that's fine, but I'm calling it like it is. I'm calling a spade a spade. I'm calling a slop a slop. It's slop.
It's great.
I say you're free to enjoy that if that's what you're into, but it is what it is. The second example they gave was M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, Ishana Shyamalan's movie, The Watchers. It's a horror movie starring Dakota Fanning, and it had a budget of $30 million for a directorial debut. That is a joke. You're just handing out millions of dollars to waste, and it didn't do well. Yeah. It made $33 million worldwide. Like, that's
which means that it
categorical
came in
loss.
At least half of its budget, given the fact that they split that with the theaters.
Even that seemed like an interesting premise. I don't even know if I can explain it. It says Mina gets stranded in an expansive, untouched forest in Western Ireland. She finds shelter and unknowingly becomes trapped alongside 3 strangers that are watched and stalked by mysterious creatures each night.
You know?
Like, I saw the preview in theaters and I thought, oh, that's like vaguely interesting, but not enough to make me spend my money.
I think, was that the one that Joel Thomas and we had a couple of guests on that were really, really, Tony Merkel, they were excited to see it.
Yeah, because they were like into the whole cryptid concept.
Well, they were talking,
like,
but it's not even M. Night Shyamalan.
What are they called? Skinwalkers?
I mean, that wasn't the point though. They weren't excited about it because of M. Night Shyamalan. They were excited about it.
Well, then they were wrong.
It had like skinwalkers in the trailer and lots of symbolism that they were pointing out to us, but not for me. And M. Night Shyamalan has another Nepo daughter named Suleika Shyamalan, I believe, who just starred as Lady Raven in Trap.
S is her initials.
SS is her initials, yes. But she got this role as a pop star, and they're trapped in the concert venue while the police are searching for a serial killer. And of course, there's a plot twist because it's a Shyamalan-related project. But she wouldn't have gotten that role if she weren't related to M. Night Shyamalan. So that's just the truth.
Who was it? Was it Emma Roberts that was talking earlier this year about Nepo babies and how like she can't help it, right? She's the daughter of
well, she's
related to Julia Roberts and Eric Roberts. So. Right.
She definitely comes from privilege, but she was saying that it's actually sexist.
Yes, that's what it was. She did an Uno reverse. And said, "Oh, it's not nepotism. You're just being sexist for saying that it's nepotism."
Yeah, they're saying they're trying to
Shaq and Raider.
undermine the accomplishments of women in Hollywood because they're related to powerful people in the industry.
But there are many women in Hollywood that have arguably greater accomplishments than her. So,
You know.
Hooking up with Harvey Weinstein for a role.
hey,
You do what you gotta do.
Thank you.
see,
Merry
chat like
Christmas.
this.
A city girl makes do.
We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you, guys.
They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, eat the cat, eat the cat. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, eat the cat.
Once again, I'm the only
All right.
person dancing.
I will.
I get it's
I will
going a little
dance
bit.
on the next one. I was okay. Do you guys see this in an industry like this and think it's as big of a deal because it's easier to kind of give leeway to industries like Hollywood because the art itself is subjective. So a lot of times it's harder to nail. Like if you're a Nepo baby at a nuclear power plant, things could go very, very wrong very, very quickly. But in Hollywood, art is so subjective.
Like, if The Godfather was cast with all Nepo babies, it wouldn't change the fact that it was still The Godfather.
Yeah.
Like, if nothing changed but the fact that they were all related to someone, like,
Yeah.
what would it change? Nothing.
I just
So-
feel like the Nepo babies used to earn their keep more than they do now.
Well, because there was less of them.
Well, no, think of like Nicolas Cage not using the Coppola name. Think of Martin Sheen has Charlie Sheen, but they also have Emilio Estevez who uses his birth name, and you don't like a lot of people don't even realize that they were all
Yeah.
related. There's a lot of examples off the top of my head that I can think of like that, but Nicolas Cage is one of my favorites, given that he's as good as he is.
I don't think Ben Stiller did that, right?
There's a lot of actors in Hollywood that I think probably worked very hard to do it on their own without the help of their parents. But now the kids, in this economy, they're like, no, I'll take whatever up I can, whatever help I can get to get whatever money that I can.
Yeah, but I would just say, like, be more transparent about that,
Yeah.
Don't deny that you had a leg up. That's my pet peeve when
Well,
it comes to Nepo babies. Is that a lot of them just try to act like they either don't mention it, or if it gets mentioned to them, they're like, no, but, like, I really, like, did the work.
Like Drake came from money, right?
Yeah, he was
He
on
did?
Degrassi, wasn't he?
Yeah, he
Yes,
was on
he
Is that
Degrassi.
why he was on Degrassi?
Yeah, he was the wheelchair kid.
I remember him being on Degrassi, but he
Yeah, I thought he
had family that got him the role.
word was
Yes, Jack Dubs is correct. Hannah Gutierrez Reed is an example where Nepo baby goes very, very wrong. She was the armorer on Rust, whose dad is a famous
Oh, yeah.
armorer in the industry.
And someone died.
He didn't teach her his methods.
Don't let the person, handling your firearms
Be
get
Alec Baldwin.
handed a job or a
Right.
gun to Alec Baldwin.
Also, this is like totally aside, but like I had a nightmare last night that I was cast in a rom-com with some mix between Adam Sandler and Ben Stiller.
Oh my.
Sounds awesome.
It-
Straight to Netflix.
Do you want to kiss Adam Sandler?
No, I'll pass.
I was like, I
If I
can't
get to
do
be
this.
in,
Cut.
the,
Cut the cameras.
I mean, that one's going straight to Netflix anyways. Don't do it.
Another example they listed here was Lisa Frankenstein, which was directed by Zelda Williams, Robin Williams' daughter.
Okay. Of course her name's Zelda.
Yeah, right.
That got 52% from critics, 82% from audience.
Look, there-
Likely, if you're going to see a movie like that, it's something that you're already going to like.
But think of like a Sophia Coppola is extremely successful and she's a Coppola, or a Bryce Dallas Howard is a successful and she's Ron Howard's daughter, right? So there's plenty and those are women. See, it's not sexist.
Yeah.
Those women are very successful.
Yeah.
They're just good at their job.
Yeah, you're just bad at your
you're
job,
just
and
bad
you
at
should
your-
feel bad.
I think what they're pointing out is that all of these first-time directors are getting insane amounts of money for their projects.
Budgetary wise, yeah.
And then they end up wasting it for the studio, and they're only getting those budgets in the first place because of the last name. So that's the issue at hand.
Not to like white knight for Red One again, but Red One was made to be released on Amazon Prime. It was not actually ever supposed to go to a theatrical release, which is why they pulled it so fast and why it ended up on Amazon Prime so quickly right before the holidays. So I actually think that the disdain for the film that comes, like given that the audience score is as high as it was, that if they had never done the theater release and had gone straight to streaming, people probably would have found it to be, an enjoyable movie, but it probably wouldn't have done the numbers that it did. I think they said it did like really, really big, like 50 million in the first weekend on Amazon Prime. Again, those numbers can be called into question, but I wouldn't actually list its box office failure as necessarily his problem. I would list that as Amazon's poor strategizing for the film. If his first film was supposed to go straight to Amazon Prime, you could make the argument that no small-time director with that little credit should be handed a $250 million movie. But
Yeah.
a lot of that was down to The Rock's, the reshoots and the stuff that happened with The Rock being poor on set. At least that's what everyone said.
Did you say poor on set?
Like being poor on set, like meaning that he wasn't showing up on time for calls.
He was
causing
like
problems.
money?
chronically late, and he was also peeing in bottles all the time.
I mean, that's on every movie he's in, but that's
but specifically Voss bottles. He would only pee in Voss bottles.
Hey, if you got
and I
money
bet he
like
was
it.
stacking them up in his trailer.
Like,
Disgusting.
If you're The Rock, you can't just piss in a Dasani bottle. You gotta go off. You know, you gotta go the whole way.
And he does it. He said that he does this in the gym in the middle of his workouts because he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to waste too much time peeing between sets.
He brings his own gym to every set he's on, so he's not in like a public gym
I know,
pissing in a
but
bottle.
I didn't think that The
that
Rock was
sucks.
going to Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that, and then he puts the bottle down, the lunk alarm goes off.
It's kind of a Chad move.
Just interesting. I think that it's different too because directors are going to get less play than nepotism amongst actors because the actors are in front of the camera, so there's more interest in that.
Another positive example they listed here was Zoe Kravitz's movie Blink Twice. With a $20 million budget, it finished its run with $46 million worldwide. So that's not bad.
Yeah.
She's not great at acting, though.
She's really not. She was in that one movie that I watched over COVID where it's like almost the whole movie takes place in her apartment. And I was like, nobody this boring should have this many scenes in one
Sounds
movie.
like Hush.
I don't remember what it was called. But
Did you guys watch The Batman?
Mm-mm.
The Batman? There's a new Batman movie?
2021.
The Robert Pattinson.
Oh, Robert
one.
Pattinson. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I didn't.
Robert Pattinson. You did not see it?
No.
Okay, yeah.
Nor did
She
I
was-
see Batfleck.
I only have seen her
haven't
act
seen that one either.
in The Batman, and
Yeah.
it was underwhelming. So maybe
So-
she would be better suited to directing. Who
I would
knows?
be interested to see whether like people in the industry roll their eyes more at directors or at actors being nepotism hires.
There are probably way more examples of nepotism hires in screenwriting and behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
But we just don't hear about those because they're not the ones wasting millions of dollars.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.